Dude, let me brace for it. Yeah.
Just look in the camera.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Dude, don't build it up that much.
Ready?
Yeah. Ah!
Do you have to go, Dad? Wait, you're disappearing from the clouds. What's happening?
Simba, you remember who you are?
Yeah, I like the cold opens.
You like these cold opens?
I'm a fan. We do a cold open. I like it. Just mid combo.
Yeah, right?
You know what
I mean, we just go for it.
Right, because you're already talking beforehand.
Yeah.
Camera's already rolling.
It's not like we didn't look at each other all the way in, and then it's like, all right, now we go.
I'm here. I didn't even know. How did I get in this chair?
Yeah.
You know?
That's not real.
Yeah.
Keon, how you doing, bro?
Good, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, dude. I wanted to have you on for multiple reasons. I am a genuine fan of your comedy and what you put out and stuff like that. And what really kind of not turned the corner for me on you, like, cause I've been following you for years and stuff like that, but something that like you and Tony Baker and your crew put out a special, and you guys self-produced it and made it happen, and you put it out where people could purchase it online. And that's when, like, I watched it. I literally, my wife was like out of town one night or whatever. I rented it, I watched it, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is like, it's inspiring to see, you know, friends in the scene make things happen for themselves and not wait around for it. And that's like, for me, that's like ultimate respect when I see that happen. And when I saw you guys doing that, I was like, I need to, like, I'm already paying close attention to all you guys, but like, I need to pay even more attention. I appreciate that. So props to you guys on that.
Oh no, thank you, man. No, I'm honestly, when you hit me up, it was like, you want to do it? I was like, yes. Cause like for me, I feel like I'm not like out like that. Like I don't be just hanging out or like, you know, so I'm not one of the hangout guys that people know.
Right.
So for me, it's like when it comes to different scenes or different people, like I've known you for a while. I've been watching, but like
we've been doing open mics together for freaking like since Flappers, like a decade ago.
Right. And then you were at the store, and then, you know, you start, you know, doing all these things. And I was just like, for me, I feel like I'm always shocked when anybody from a different scene even knows who I am, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even so when you hit me, I was like, oh yeah, there's one of the, because I'm always I just figure I'm so far removed from everything, you
dude,
know?
That's what I've learned about like putting stuff out, is like you truly never know who's keeping an eye on your stuff. And I follow you and Tony and Keon, like I follow all you guys, like DC. You guys all crack me up. Like you guys, in my opinion, have some of the best internet content.
You,
and
man.
I watch obviously a lot of stuff as I'm scrolling Instagram and posting my own stuff and be like, oh, what funny stuff are other of my friends putting out and stuff like that. So yeah, I love everything that you guys are doing. So I was like, I want to collab with you guys. I was like, why not? Like, we'll reach out and see what's up.
I'm just really like, I'm like, oh, cool. Cause it's like, it's different when it's like a Tony or a Kev on stage or whatever. Like that's normal to me. So I'm like, yeah, of course they're going to reach out. But when other people reach out, I'll be like, let's do it. Let's
I'm into it.
I forgot who recently hit me. Was like, hey man, I want to do something. I was like, yeah, sure. Great. Like I didn't even know you knew who I was.
Dude,
like,
I'm all about collaborating with good, positive people.
Yeah.
I'm all about that. And you're a family man. I love the stuff that you post with your family. And I'm trying to become a family man. I'm in the game now. So it's happening. Do you have any new dad advice for me as I'm 6 weeks in?
It's honestly, like you said, like we talked about before, you know, we're doing the best we can. Because there's nothing in the early stages. What do we do? What, can you hold the boob? You know, like
just like prop it up a little bit more.
Let me. Which actually,
hey honey, you need a spotter? Or
sometimes I heard that's a thing though. Sometimes the kid won't latch, and like my mom and dad said, my dad used to be able to get my brother to latch. He would not latch, and then he had like a magical plop plop, and then my brother would latch for some reason. So he did. He was like a boob assister.
Okay.
So if they need that, you know what it is? No one ever tells you is like the parenting stuff aside, all that stuff just kind of comes natural.
Mm-hmm.
No one ever gives you relationship advice
Yeah.
when the kid comes, because a lot of things change.
It's a lot of things that are changing at a very fast pace.
At a fast pace.
That you don't really get a heads up
Right.
about. Yeah.
No one tells you for some reason. Your father's never warned you. Your grandmother, your uncle's friends. No one ever warned you.
I think a lot of people, from what I've talked to dads who have been through it, is a lot of people kind of seems like they forget a lot of, like, it's a blur of certain stuff. I think your brain purposely does that.
Maybe.
Otherwise you would never want to have more than one kid, because the first, you know what I mean? The first few weeks is so insane.
No, the first few years suck.
Yeah. Okay.
They suck.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, the first probably, because they're one. The baby, whatever, cries and stuff, and then they start moving. So you got to watch them all the time, and then they start talking, and they're annoying, right? So they don't get cool. They don't get cool till like 4.
Okay, this is the real facts that I need as a new dad.
Because
Like,
everybody's always like, babies, oh, they're so cute. Babies are trash. Babies suck. Like, yes, they're very cute.
Right.
Outside of that, and they're cute to you because you don't have them all the time. Like the outsider's like, oh, look at his face.
It's like that
Did you
uncle
sleep?
syndrome. It's like,
Right.
oh, I love being an uncle. I get to go over there for an hour, hang around a cute kid, buy them things. Cool. Yeah, it's my brother's kid. Great.
Right. And then I'm out, and it's like, you slept last night. I didn't.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You did.
You get all the benefits. What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
They suck till like 3, and then late 3 when they're transitioning to 4. Then it's like, all right, you guys are my buddies.
Okay,
Now
because
it's like,
that's my thing is like, when did you really start like connecting with your kids? Because for me, like, I love my son, obviously, but I'm not. I don't think I'm really connecting because I can't really.
You don't know
He
who
can't
you
talk.
are.
He
You
doesn't
don't-
know.
yeah.
He kind of gives me some eyes and some smiles. I'm like, okay, that keeps me going for another day.
Right.
Yeah.
No, when they, I think when they can, say those first words like dad, and you can see them like even if they're out somewhere and like, let's say you're walking hand in hand, with them, and they're like, I don't know any of these people, but I know this guy. Let me stay by this
You're like,
guy.
this is a
whatever.
good feeling.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then so like, and then they start talking. And then they start talking too much, and you're just like, "Shut up!" Like my kids, I leave the house sometimes. I'll go shoot in the reason why I shoot a lot of my videos in the car, is I just want to get away from them because they don't stop talking, and it's not even like it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just like, shut up.
You're like,
Like,
kids, quiet on set. Daddy's trying to film something.
they actually do understand that.
They do get that?
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
cool.
like, all right, guys, I'm about to shoot, and they'll be quiet. But it's just like, it's not like annoying. It's just they're just talking to talk.
Right.
So like my 3-year-old, he'll be 4 in August. He'll just be like, and dad, sometimes grass is green and I don't know why and he'll, it's just like that stuff. And you're
It's
just
just
like,
thoughts.
you don't
Yeah,
have
it's
to
just-
talk out loud, bro. Like I'm trying to shoot. I got to edit. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
And then Sonic the other day, I have to tell you every story of every movie of like, you haven't seen the movie. Like you watch this every day.
I watched this with you 9 times.
17 times. Like,
yeah.
what do you don't, I know what's going to happen. Dad, watch this. And then I know.
I've seen this with you.
They'll watch my stand up, and then he says, "I know, I said the joke.
You're
son.
like, I wrote the joke."
did this." So, but they're cool, and like I do this with my oldest, and once they get like 4 or 5, then they're like fun. They still talk a lot, but it's like it's funny.
It's slightly more chill. Yeah.
Yeah, it's chill and it's like funny. And sometimes they say and do hilarious
Well,
things.
I was talking to you before we started rolling. Your 5-year-old son is a natural in front of the
Oh,
camera.
yeah.
He
That's what
you
he
can
does.
tell that like he's like checking in with you, like, am I doing good, Dad? And you're like, yeah, you're killing it.
The approval thing too is very you're like, damn, everything I do really matters. Like when it comes to how much they're watching you, that kicks in.
That's some pressure.
When you start seeing them, like I never taught my kids how to pee. They just, oh, that's what he's doing, I'm going to do that.
Oh.
And then the little one just copies the older one.
Okay.
So then I'm like,
Trickle down effect.
right.
Maybe
so,
bad analogy for pee, but yeah.
So then I had like, I started getting very cognizant of everything I was doing because I'm like, he's going to watch me and then he's going to watch him.
Yeah.
So literally everything I do, like we're molding, when you meet like jacked up people, they were molded wrong. Like they watch their parents.
I mean, yeah.
And then that's where they get all their stuff from. So you're like, damn, we're really, our parents were in charge of molding us. Like you're really molding a person.
That's some responsibility.
And it's a lot. So like everything I do now, I'm like thinking about, because I'm like, he's going to watch me. And like, I mean, from how the things they say to how they act, like people, when they watch my show with my son, they're like, he has a lot of your mannerisms. I'm like, because he's studying me all the time.
Yeah.
Like literally that's all he does.
I feel like it's similar like when we're starting out with stand-up comedy, and early on, if you look back at our early tapes or whatever, we're mimicking the comics that we love.
Like. Yeah.
And because we study them so hard that it takes a while for us to establish our own voice. So I don't know. Like I look back at old tapes and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm doing this comic right here.
Right.
This bit is like this comic.
Right.
And then eventually, you know, you hope that like, because I used to get certain comics like after shows like, you remind me of this, which is fine. But like after a while, you're like, no, I want people to remind you of me, not these other comedians.
I remember somebody not called me out, but like they said that too many times to me. Because I used to watch so much when I first started, so much Chappelle and Kevin Hart.
Of course.
And then like, I even noticed I would watch a tape back and I'd be like, ugh, like I don't want to. And luckily I caught it early. I caught it really early. And I was just like, okay, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
And then I was you know how we start, you want to be liked and you want everybody to
talk
think
about wanting people's approval.
Right.
Did you like that joke? Was
I'm
that
on
good?
stage and I'm trying to appease, I started in the Bay Area. So I'm trying to appease, there's so many walks of life.
Is Punchline your home club? Where'd you start
Tommy
out at?
T's.
Gotcha.
Pleasanton. And then I got in Punchline Cobbs and was doing that. But in San Francisco and in the Bay Area, Oakland, whatever, you have a San Francisco scene, which is alt, white, LGBT, then you got Oakland, which is heavy black, you know what I mean? Different. And so like I'm in both. And then you have the foreigners who, like, I used to do shows at hostels. So you have foreigners who don't even, they don't even relate. And I'm trying to appease all these people.
Yeah.
And then I finally got to a point where it was like, no, I'm going to do me and just make them all adapt to what I already do. Because I would have different sets. I would go to Oakland and do, this. And then I would go to San Francisco and do this.
So funny.
And then I was trying to fit every audience. And I'm like,
would you say, so when you went to go do like the more alt rooms, like would you like do like more pop culture references and
I would
stuff
go
like that?
like more pop culture and like way more out there.
Yeah.
Like way more just weird.
Yeah.
Just stuff that.
Maybe not. Yeah. In the Oakland rooms, it might be like, that's weird.
They'd be like, hell no, we don't do that shit, bro. It's
Yeah.
like, yo. So I would take way more chances in those rooms. And it would crush. And then I would go to Oakland and be like, nah, bro. So then I'm like, all right, let me, do this. And then I started realizing I can do the same thing. I just have to tweak stuff.
Yeah.
Like tweak how I said this word or how I started, like in some of the black rooms. They wouldn't give you as much time to build something to like a big punchline or payoff.
You got to get to it a little bit quicker.
So it's like I got to hurry up to grab their attention first, and I can come back to this. So I would do like the first 2 minutes would just be stuff that they relate to, and then I could go on my journeys and stuff that was maybe a little off or whatever. And they'd be like, "Nah, but we already like him, so let's see where he goes with this." So I had to learn how to do that. I didn't have to change my material. I just had to put certain jokes in certain areas,
different placements.
So I'd come out the gate like, with some, stuff I did in the all room. And they're like, who's this guy? Like, what is he?
Dude, I did a backyard show in Compton recently, and it had been a minute since I had done a room like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't get them right out the gate. And I was digging the rest of the set because I didn't get them in the first 10 seconds.
You got a window that's so small.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, once we don't care what you're saying.
So I was like, all of those rooms like came back. It had just been forever since I had done like, and it was outside. There's a lot of conditions, a lot of factors that like are against you. People talking, like people were literally eating. Yeah. And I did not get them in the first 10 seconds. And I was like, oh no.
Here we go. You start checking the clock.
Oh dude, I had like 15, 20 to do. I was like,
you're like, shit.
I just knew it. I got them by the very end. But it was me digging for 15 minutes. Right. So I was like, oh, God.
And you're searching. You're like, and especially, it's not like we're not even as fast as we once were because we've been off for a year or whatever. So you're like, you're digging. You're like, what was I? What do I do here?
Where was I going with this? It's just not like quite as instantaneous.
Yeah, man. And just so that helped me. Actually, I'm so glad I started comedy in the Bay Area versus here.
Yeah.
Because I had to do so many different types of things, I was able to find my voice fast and to just know how to work so many different audiences immediately. And then I was hosting at all the clubs within my first year really fast. So I learned how to host. That's what got me really strong, was dealing with people ordering and talking, and they're not there to see you.
I hosted all the time starting
Man.
out, and that it builds you real
Yeah, because
real
one
fast.
of my, the vets comics in the Bay, he was like, you want to get strong, host everything. Because nobody ever wanted to go first, and nobody ever wanted to host. I was like, I'll do it. I'll go first. That's fine. And then doing that, I was like,
I got to a point where I became a really good host, and then I lost work for about a year or so because I started turning down hosting because I needed to make that jump.
Yeah.
And people they're like, we don't get it, man. Why are you like, they're getting offended with me. They're like, you're high energy. You're good as a host. Like, why won't you host? I'm like, I just can't do it anymore.
I got to grow.
Yeah. And then eventually, like, I started getting booked outside of that. And then I don't host anymore.
Right. I'll host if I'm doing, like, it's my...
That's different.
like a Keon Polee and Friends or Presents,
Like my show Stand Up on the Spot, I always host that because it's like me presenting the friends that were on the show or whatever. Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, I don't want to do that. Plus we, we're at a point now where you're not even warmed up after 10 minutes yet. Like that's, I remember when 10 minutes was like time.
Oh yeah.
And now you're like, wait, I didn't even, I'm not even, my jacket's still on.
Yeah,
10 minutes is nothing.
I haven't taken the mic out of the stand.
Right. So now you're like, you're so used to doing so much time and you're just like, oh, hosting 10 minutes? Shit.
Yeah. Nothing.
Right. It's nothing.
Yeah.
But, it served its purpose.
Yeah.
I guess,
So underneath your little table over there, there's some lyrics. Here we go.
I didn't even notice this either. Let's see what we have here. Oh.
Dig, if you will, the picture with you and I engaged in a kiss. Sweat of your body covers me. Can you, darling, can you picture this?
Dream of your cap on your heart, in oceans of violence in a blue. Abnormal strike, your ears above says they feel the heat, they between me. How can you understand me? Alone in a world that's so cold.
Alone in a world so cold.
Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too bold. Maybe you're just like my mother. She's never satisfied.
She's never satisfied.
Oh, I always scream at each other. This is what it sounds like. Windows cry.
That's the best part.
Judge, if you will, my stomach. Feel how it trembles inside. You got the butterflies all tied up. Don't make me chase you, even doves have pride.
How can you leave me standing alone in a world that's so cold? Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too bold. Maybe you're just like my mother. You never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like. Windows
Oh, at the end, you were killing me with the Prince imitation was so funny.
The inflection. Dude, anytime I think of Prince, I think of When Doves Cry.
Right.
I mean, obviously, some people think of Purple Rain. Other people
Purple
think
Rain.
of so many amazing
I
songs.
love. Oh my god, I can't think of it.
Little Red Corvette.
No, it's the one.
Party Like It's 19.
It's a slow. It's one of the slow ones, the ballads. I'm drawing the hugest blank.
I always think of the image, like, you always have like an image, like one snapshot of somebody in your mind, like when you think of the name. And I always have the image of Prince in When Doves Cry when he's crawling. That like I have that as a GIF in my mind. Like when somebody says Prince, I just see.
I was dying because you were doing the Prince imitation, and for some reason I went like rock band, like yeah. And I was like, why am I doing like I sound like Lost Boys, like all the songs of Lost Boys. And yeah. I was like, why am I doing
Cry, little sister.
I love that
Thou
song.
shalt knock. Dude, I love that movie.
I love that song and that movie. Me and my
That
brother
song?
watched that movie
Ooh.
like every day, and I don't know why. We should have been scared, and we were not. And we watched it
it's something
so much.
cool about it that's not scary. Like when you're younger, you're just like, this is awesome.
I loved it. Cry, little sister.
Thou shalt not kill.
We used to like that one, and the one where he was on the beach playing the saxophone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I still believe.
Oh, dude.
'Cause he-
Tim Capello, baby.
His head, he was like, bam, bam, bam. I love it.
I had somebody, because I play sax, somebody paid me $100 to come over to their house, and they're like, I don't know how to play saxophone. I was like, okay. But they're like, can you teach me a few notes from that song because I'm being that guy for Halloween? I was like,
Hilarious.
I'll do my best. And I got him to a place where he could play a few notes where it was recognizable enough for this bad Halloween costume. And he was
Did he have
thrilled.
the blonde?
He had everything.
Shirt
He
off?
had everything. He had the oil. He had like the
Hilarious.
chains and everything. He goes, I have the sax. I don't know how to play it. I'm like, dude, this is going to be real hard for me to teach, jumpstart something that takes years to do.
Well, he really only needed the beep, beep, beep. That's it.
That's what I taught him.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let me find these notes real quick. So I found them on my sax, and I was like, okay, these are the notes. I need you to put your fingers in this way, and then just really, I was trying to teach him mouth technique and everything. I'm like, all right, hold your mouth like that. That's what's weird with sax is like trying to teach somebody else is like, hold your mouth a certain way, but I can't show you.
Right.
I'm telling you how to hold your mouth. And they're like this. I'm like, it's good.
Now they
It's
look
what's
like they have
inside.
a coke addiction.
Yeah. So like,
Right this?
like more gum or more teeth or what's going on?
Yeah, but those were the three notes because he was a very intense saxophone player too.
Well, he's a really good sax player. He's a legit sax player.
He was like pumping it, and I was like, I've never seen it like
you have
rock out
you
sax
have
guy.
to be so strong to be able to do that
Right.
with a tenor sax. You like that's string.
Well,
that's
he's a
like
big
core
guy.
string. He's a big dude. Yeah, he does cameos for people now.
hilarious.
Yeah.
We used to love that part because it just made us laugh. I don't know
course.
why it was so funny to us. But we used
I
to be
mean,
dying.
there's some things that like inexplicably make you laugh as a kid. Like there's a scene. Did you ever see Meet Joe Black, that Brad Pitt movie?
Did I see that? When he gets is that the one he gets hit by the bus? Like what are they doing?
Dude, I would rewind that part with my friends over and over because we're like, Brad Pitt just got killed by a bus. Like we just thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Like because it was just like
it was
why did this
so
happen?
out of nowhere. It was so out of nowhere.
Some stuff is just funny. Like you're just like I don't think I'm supposed to laugh at this. But
Oh, dude.
like it's just there are parts in you know what makes me mad when people don't laugh when they should.
Yeah.
Like we went and saw. Have you seen The Other Guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so we went and saw that in theaters. It was like
Right.
6 of us. And when The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson said aim for the bushes and jumped, and then we saw that, oh shit, they're gonna die. Like me and the 6 I was with were like screaming.
Oh, yeah.
Like in tears. The rest of the theater was like I don't get it. I was like, you don't get how stupid this is
Dude,
for them?
it's so
they
funny.
fist bump like you're like, oh, they're gonna catch a line or something.
Yeah,
Or,
there's gonna be a
they just
parachute or
jumped to
something.
their deaths. And like when it cut to the funeral, we could not stop laughing.
It's one of my favorite cameos in a movie that I've ever seen.
I
It's
thought they were
so
going to be
good.
the stars of the movie,
Dude,
and they just
that's what made it so brilliant. Is like
died.
that's it,
and
that's
died
the
from
scene?
pure stupidity. Pure stupidity.
They didn't have shoots on or anything.
And for the bushes, I was like, oh, okay, they're going to catch something. No, we're just going to die. I could not. That whole scene, and then to go to the funeral, and then the wake, and have a silent fight, like that whole 10 minutes, I missed. Because we could not stop laughing.
Right.
I was like, this is great. And the rest of the theater was kind of like, this is dumb. And we were just like, I want everybody to get out.
There's been so many times where, well, also sometimes I'll laugh at the wrong things in theaters because, you know, our comedian brains have been
Right.
warped where like when things are not hitting for whatever reason, that's when we laugh the hardest.
Because it's weird.
Because it's just like this
you're
awkward
bombing.
energy. So like I'll watch movies like where I'm like, oh, this scene's bombing, and I'm dying, and the theater's just like, what does he get that we don't? I'm like, it's just awkward and
This
funny.
is weird. Yeah.
Yeah. The other song that I printed up was Michael Jackson's Black or White. And did you remember that music video?
Oh, my kids watch Michael Jackson like every day.
Dude, that's one of my favorite music videos for the complete randomness of like Michael Jackson has like some amazing music videos, but like literally Macaulay Culkin's in it. George Wendt from Cheers. He's yelling at Macaulay Culkin, and then Macaulay Culkin plays an electric guitar and blasts him all the way to Africa. It's just
Michael Jackson's videos was like, I've talked about this on social media before, but like Macaulay Culkin was like a lot of us, like our first introduction to like white homes. So like between Home Alone and like that video, I was like, these kids are fucking insane. There's no way in hell I could ever like.
I'm not doing a sleepover over there.
I was like, they're crazy. Like this, so like, because I remember
they booby trap things everywhere.
I watched Home Alone recently with my kids, and as a parent, I was so upset. I couldn't enjoy the movie. I didn't realize in the beginning of the movie how he talked to his mom. Like
he's horrible.
He's horrible.
To his
and
parents.
how they talk to him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and I understood why my parents hated it. Like we thought it was so funny and blah, blah. My mom and dad hated Home Alone.
The more you watch Disney Channel type shows, the more you realize how big of idiots they make all the parents look like, and like just complete morons. And they're always the butt of the joke. My mom over here, what an idiot.
It's the stuff they can do. I was like, I would die. I wouldn't be here today if I said any of that.
Yeah.
Like the opening scene, I forgot what she's on the phone. What does he say? She was like 1 minute. And he said something smart, super smart back. Mm-hmm. Like just disrespect. And I was like, I would have gotten choked out right then and there. Like,
without a doubt.
There's no way I survived. I wouldn't. There would have been no movie. It would have been Keon's funeral. That would have been the movie, not Home Alone. Not the movie would have been them trying to hide the body. Like that. Maybe that would have been. It was just crazy and like. Yeah, the black and white video, when the way that video starts, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And I remember we were such big Michael Jackson fans, but that part of the video, my mom was like, I was like, oh no, I know this is fictional. Like I know I'm not gonna try this. Believe me.
Yeah.
You tell me to turn something off, I'm turning it off.
Yeah, yeah. This is make believe. This is sci-fi.
Right. Yeah,
this at this point.
Is that the in the end of the video? It just ends right after they do all the faces.
Pretty like they go to Africa, and then it's like a one world kind of thing, like where like there's like Native Americans dancing and like people with like guns like on horses like going by.
Then he does the infamous face change, and then they say cut at the end of that. Even that, if you go back and watch it, you'll recognize. That's what I love about watching stuff that's old. Mm-hmm. You recognize people who are like famous now. You're like, oh snap, that was so and so, and they were doing background work and whatever.
It gives you perspective on it. It's just like, oh yeah.
The overnight success of everyone.
Oh my goodness. It's just like, it just takes a long time. It does.
So long.
I mean, we get it. Like the amount, I love your hustle. Like I really respect the amount of videos that you put out. It doesn't go unnoticed. So like, like it's awesome.
COVID, honestly, between it goes back to what you said, honestly. It was me watching my friends and being like, yo, they're winning. Mm-hmm. And they're doing it. They're just doing it themselves.
Yep.
And they're just not waiting on people. And I was like, well, what am I? Why? Because I remember when I first was starting out, and especially when I first moved here, I'm thinking like somebody's going to find me. It's like,
that's what we all thought.
Yeah.
And you know what? The problem is a couple of our friends it does happen to.
Oh yeah.
So then early on you're like, it happened for them. Like I'm like a year behind them. Yeah.
Right.
Like
yeah,
I see their trajectory.
You start doing that. You start doing the timeline. Okay, but they got discovered at 4 years.
Okay, yeah.
So somebody will find me at 4 years.
I should be somewhere around there. Yeah.
Right. And then you're like you're thinking, what am I doing? Should I hang out here more, or should I do this more? Am I playing the game right? And then you realize none of it really matters. It's just when it's your time, and you just focus on what you want to do, and then it all kind of fall into place as it's supposed to, and then you just stop tripping up. Like, now I don't care at all. Now I'm just like, whatever.
I know. Now we're just in it.
Yeah, and now it's just regular, like, but you create your own lane because you're just like, I can't wait on this.
I want to thank our partner who has empowered millions to breathe naturally, and that is Fume. I want to thank them, guys. Fume is the natural inhaler that makes it easy to get the benefits of super plants on the go. Yep. Fume is this natural inhaler that makes it easy to get the benefits of super plants on the go. Now, Keon, have you ever struggled with smoking before?
I can't say that I have.
Me neither, but that's not the issue at hand. These are good for your allergies too. Like guys like big noses like myself, it cleans out the nasal cavities. But also, if you do smoke, it's a great hand to mouth replacement. All natural infused plant cores, nothing chemical inside. And here's how simple it is. This is a Canadian-made wooden inhaler with no electronics, and they have cores. It's filled only with benefits of super plants. Like I said, no chemicals added. I'm trying. Yep. Would you? Do you have allergy issues?
I don't, but I will get some just to try a little Fume, baby.
Woo! Fume hits a little different. I'm trying this Berry Bliss, and it feels real good on my throat and my nose. You can also subscribe for monthly deliveries so you never run out of your Fume supply. Isn't that crazy?
A month of deliveries?
Uh-huh. You did the Home Alone face. Head to www.breathefume.com. That's breathefum.com and use code WONDER to save 10% and breathe in the benefits of the world's super plants today, baby.
That's how you know it's big time. Somebody just does an ad out of nowhere. You're like, this is big time over here. I've seen your guests. That's another reason I was honored to do it. You got some guests on.
What are you talking about? This isn't big time at all.
You got some guests.
This boy got guests.
You got guests. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Simba,
Yeah, Dad?
everything the light touches makes you sweaty.
Everything?
Everything.
What about that over there?
Don't go over there.
Where the homeless people are?
No. Don't go there. Stay far away from there.
What about the hipsters over there? Do we own them?
I believe there was a time where owning people was okay, but those days have long gone.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just trying to learn.
Yes, that's okay, son. So, the homeless, they're harmless, but my accent have switched like 17 times.
That's okay, Dad. Stay in it. I believe in you.
I'm having an identity crisis right now, son. I don't know who.
Are you upset that you settled down with Mom and you could have just been a king that could have just, could have been ridden
Whoa.
solo?
No, that would have been exhausting. I can't raise kids, and son, I'm gonna use general world fragrance here. Bang these hoes while raising you. That would not have been able to happen. And those hipsters, definitely stay away from them. They smell worse than the homeless, actually.
Oh, okay. So I should avoid people with handlebar mustaches?
Yes. They tend to like to convert you to do whatever it is that they do. They're weird people.
Dad, do you approve of my relationship with Nala?
Yes, I do.
Any advice? I'm thinking about taking her on a date soon.
That's fine. Just know that if you guys get to wrestling and she lays on her back and gives you that look, wrap it up.
What do you mean, wrap it up, Dad?
Well, son. See, you're here because Daddy didn't wrap it up.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes, you get caught up in the moment and, pew pew, you shoot the club up,
What do you mean by shoot the club up, Dad?
Well, it's getting hot in here, son.
Do you have to go, Dad? Wait, you're disappearing from the clouds. What's happening?
Simba, you'll remember who you are.
Wig. I like the idea of that's when Mufasa decides to leave. He's like, I actually don't have time to talk about that, son. Like in any of like the questions like that he needed him there for. Yeah.
Right. God's calling. I gotta go.
My spirit is fading, Simba.
When you really think about it, like Mufasa died so early. Like Simba really had to like he got raised by Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah.
Then he had a son. It's like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like he had a dope dad for a second. You know?
I know.
But then it's like,
dude,
you're out of there.
One of my favorite memories associated with The Lion King is I went to the theater with my wife to see when the new updated Lion King came out a couple years ago. And you know how sometimes you can sneak into a theater and for an earlier showtime, like you purchase one for 5 o'clock, but you're like, oh, one showing at 3:45. Let's go check out that one.
Right.
That's what we did. And we kept sitting in seats that were empty. And bro, not even joking, like 8 times people came in late and were like, you're in my seat. I'm like, you're freaking late. What's happening?
So late, yeah.
So like we kept moving to the point where we kept like, I was like, oh, let's just see the next one. Like we're literally, we have bad luck. We like people kept coming in late. We start watching the movie and we're next to this very, I don't know where this lady was from. She's like smiling from ear to ear. She's like just excited to be there. Right. And we watch the movie and it's like 10, 15 minutes in the movie. And she turns over to me and she keeps asking me questions like while the movie's going on. Like she's just excited. She's a foreigner, not knowing the social norms. Like you don't talk to people during the movies. She's just excited to be there.
Right.
15 minutes into this movie, she leans over to me and she goes, are the lions real? 15 minutes into not only like CGI lions, talking lions. She asked me if they were real. And I was like, I just told her, I was like, they might be.
I'd be like, absolutely.
How do you break it? How do you break that to somebody?
I'm like, you didn't know?
You didn't know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
They're real.
Yeah. They keep them in a special place. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. No. Yeah.
Like, what kind of, that's something my kids would ask me.
Dude, and this lady was like 40. Yeah. It made zero sense to me.
Yeah. I don't get that one at all. Maybe she snuck in a movie theater. She probably wasn't supposed to be there. She's probably
not.
Part of that homeless crew we were talking about.
Probably.
She just walked in there like, it's warm in here.
Snuck in there. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Maybe somebody she knew at the theater or something. I don't know.
Lions are real. Maybe it was her first movie and she just couldn't handle it. Maybe she lost it.
Maybe it was.
Like she had a break.
What?
You know what I mean?
That makes a little bit more
like
sense
a
to
mental
me.
break. Like, oh, I'm so excited I can't even think straight. Are they real?
I never thought about that could have been that woman's
her
first
movie. For that to
feature
have
film.
that kind of excitement.
She literally was like the whole time just like blown away.
Or in like we don't know her background story. What if she
First
was
day
like
in America? I don't know.
Never let out. Maybe she was raised in a basement.
Yeah.
And this is like, you know, she was like, oh, this is
her one day away.
Yeah. And she's
This
like,
is her
oh,
Willy
this is
Wonka golden
amazing.
ticket.
Right.
She gets
This
one
is
day
cool.
out of.
She just starts picking out of people's popcorn. Like,
Yeah.
oh, all right.
Is the popcorn real?
I probably would have answered yes though. I'd be like, oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Because anybody who asks you that is like, I don't trust where you're at mentally, and I don't want.
You don't want to break their spirit.
Right. And I'm like, no. And they're like, I'll kill everybody in here. It's like, no, it's real.
Something you posted recently that I found really interesting was you do Keon's like All-Stars show.
Yeah.
Dude, I did not know that you were the originator of that meme.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Anybody who's listening or watching this, if you have seen any of those, explain like what the meme is so I don't butcher it.
So the first one I did, I'm listening to, I don't know, J-Lo or somebody who couldn't sing, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, I'll never forget it. It was a Sunday, and I was like, the had a great career but vocally average all-star team, and it was like J-Lo, Taylor Swift, I forgot who else, and people went off, and they're like, "Oh, you're just trying to ruffle feathers on this Sunday, right?" And just comments. And
Yeah.
at that time, I had like 6,000 followers. So for me, I was like, "Whoa, this is the most traction I've ever gotten
Yeah,
in
I'm
my
getting
life.
a lot of attention
this
right now,
is,
yeah.
you know, this is crazy." So the next day, I made another one, like, had a great career and can't sing at all list.
Yeah.
So no, J-Lo was on that one. The vocally average
Yeah.
one was like people who played it safe, pretty much.
Gotcha.
And then the next one was like people can't sing at all, and that was like J-Lo, Taylor Swift, like whatever. So again, people were like, I was like, oh, okay. So I just kept making them because I didn't have a thing yet on, social media.
Yeah.
So I was like, this could be my thing.
Right.
So I just kept making them, and then I would see them places, and I was like, oh, okay, nobody's giving me credit. Let me put my what do you call it? Stamp on it or whatever.
Your handle or
Yeah,
whatever.
my handle.
Yeah.
I put my handle on it. Still nothing. I was like,
yeah.
I'm not getting followers. But I'm seeing this on like different pages.
Dude, yeah.
And I was like, but nobody's tagging me or anything. So then Kev on stage one day, we're chilling outside after we had did some work. He's like, man, I see I thought it had died out. He was like, I see those memes everywhere.
Dude, everywhere.
And I was like, really? He was like, they're on every major site. They share them. The combo. I was like, seriously? He was like, you have to make videos. You have to put your face on them because no one, internet just takes stuff.
Dude.
And you're not getting credit for it.
Yep.
And I was like, okay. So I started making videos with, those teams. And then people was like, oh, this is the guy that does it. And they were hitting. They were doing very well. But then when COVID hit, and I saw people creating, like Tahir had created a couple YouTube shows. And then like I saw Kev was doing his thing. Like I said, watching my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I need an income. So I need something I had no followers on my YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't even do YouTube. And I was like, well, I need something to attract people to come to my YouTube page. So first I put out all the lyrics we let slide things. And I put all those out.
Those are so fun, man.
And they hit. And then so I got a bunch of followers. And then I dropped this all-star team show. I made a show out of the memes. And the show started hitting. And that's how I got between those two things, that's how I got like 90% of my followers.
Yeah.
Or subscribers. But yeah, I only made it because Kev pulled me aside and was like, you're not getting credit for this.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. And I had no idea it was everywhere.
Dude, I literally, when you posted the backstory on that, it blew my mind because it's literally World Star shares that stuff all the
I didn't
time.
know.
All the time.
I had
And like
no idea.
big media outlets will share those. I'll see them on Facebook on random people's like big internet
Right.
following pages. And I was like, when you explained that you were the originator, I was like, this guy has had so much stolen from him. It's insane.
I did not know.
It's insane.
I did not know. And then, that's what made me create the show. So now when people catch on to the show, I'm like, yeah, I was the one that did this. Like,
Yeah.
And I still have all the memes on my page. So like I put that in the video that I made. I'm like, y'all see, I started this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And because some people are like, you can't take credit. I was like, yes, I can.
No, I can.
Like this
I
is
literally
my thing.
did this. Yeah.
This is 3 years ago. And I had no idea it was that big. And I wish I would have played it differently up front. Because like
how
you said,
how do you know?
you don't like you
don't
just
know.
make stuff. You don't know that it's
Dude,
gonna.
we never know what are going to be the things that people are like, yes, I
Right.
like that from you. That's great.
And I didn't know the reason why I knew it would be a good show because when I did notice that it was everywhere and I was reading, people just fight. They were fighting. He should have had. It should have been how y'all gonna leave off the. And I was like, well, what better way than to make a show out of it and bring my friends on who are hilarious.
It's great.
And then argue about it on there, and then get more comments underneath. Where people are arguing more. Fix the algorithm. Like so once I learned how to do the internet better, pretty much is what happened. And then I was like, oh, okay, but. Yeah, I didn't know, bro, at all.
Well, that's what a blessing and a curse was of 2020 is for me, it really forced me to figure some things out more on the social media side because it's like we had to. Like we couldn't do stand-up like we were doing every night of the week and other ways of looking for income and stuff like that. So then it's just like, okay, this thing that I was treating as a hobby, let's figure this out and see what people are liking about it. So yeah, I love that story that now you just, you keep making your own stuff. It's great.
And season 2 will be popping up soon. And all I'm doing is you know, I'm just using the memes for the episodes. Like it ain't like I'm like some of them were newer ones that I had, but I'm like I had so many of these. I'm just
So many.
bringing these, and I love that they put it in the intro too. They put the actual memes in there so that people could see like, no, this was me.
Yeah.
And when I made that video, though, so many people in the comments was like, I had no idea.
Of course.
They was like, I used to see these being shared in my groups. I had no idea it was yours. And it was like,
dude,
they like felt bad.
Of course.
They was
because
like, we were sharing them and we didn't tag. I was like, no one tagged me.
Yeah.
I was like, and I put my handle on there and like, you go look at them,
dude,
but no one
the
cared.
amount of times though that people will see that though and even try to crop it out though.
Oh, that definitely
that happens all the time where people just claim stuff and then throw it up on their page and they're like, I'm clever.
Right. Definitely happened. And then it became a thing. So now I feel like, I don't know, like not vindicated, but like people are like, all right, that was
well, you're getting credit where it's due.
Yeah. You know, like, but yeah, I didn't know it was because I don't follow those sites. The sites that just take stuff and share them, the World Stars and stuff, I never followed them. So I had no idea that they were getting as much buzz. And then,
dude, I would see them on random friends on Facebook, their pages, like just doing a poll on their friends and stuff like that. That's how everybody was using them.
And especially when I like at first, I know they were being shared on like the black sites because it was like black artists, you know, like Prince, MJ, or you know Mary J. Blige. I knew that, but then when I started going like, you know, you knew you had fun as a kid, All-Star Team. When I started doing those, it was like Water Guns and Icy's. Like one of them, I was like, you wanted to be at this kid's house, All-Star Team. It was like the kid who had the pool and the, you know,
that's funny.
And those, when I started doing more universal ones, then I started noticing like people were like
bigger pops across the board. Yeah.
So then even on the show, I noticed by the comments like which ones people are into, you know, more versus, and then like, you know, how it's all about what resonates to you. So different people will chime in on different ones and they get passionate too. Even on the lyrics, people get really passionate like about.
What's one of the weirder ones that have come up recently that comes to mind on lyrics we let slide?
Song wise?
Yeah.
Somebody just, the beauty of it when it popped, when they finally went viral, the beauty of it is I don't have to look for them anymore. People just send me.
They start sending them your way because they want your take on it.
Right.
That's what I love about DC Irvin's "Prove It," man.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't. He's not even looking for those anymore.
No.
People are begging him to review stuff, and like
they want to be a part.
It's so funny.
And somebody just sent me the Prince song like 16. Oh my god! Like I have to listen to the whole song, but I'm like, I don't even know how to make this funny. I'm pretty sure Prince was molested. Like, it's a horrible song as far as the content in there. I was just like, wait, so your sister was how old and did what? Like, it's crazy. And that's probably that's probably the wildest one. When I looked at those lyrics, I was like, why didn't anybody say anything? Or they just let him ride with this?
He's singing his heart out.
The opening line is like, my sister was 32 and I was 16, and I'm like, wait, what's happening here? It's a weird song, and I'm gonna do it though. Definitely gonna do it. But the passion that people, when they like, you know, people are fans of like artists and like stuff. So if you make fun of their artists, or the artists themselves sometimes get mad. One got mad at me. Everybody else has had a great time.
Really?
Everyone else has had that's how I knew they were getting big too, when the artists started commenting.
The artist commented or reached out?
Oh, yeah. So, like, the biggest one was Neo, by far. Like, as far as...
Which Neo song did you?
I did Do You.
Okay.
And there's a part in the song where he's like... He calls the ex, and he's like, let me say congratulations. Heard you just had a daughter. You know, but he's hitting on her and like checking on her. He's like, now tell your fiance, relax, you know, like, I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm like, yes, you are. That's exactly what you're doing. So I made fun of him or whatever. And, you know, I'm like, he should have punched you in your big ass waterhead. You know, I'm going off. So I'm checking the comments, and all of a sudden I see the blue, the blue check makes you notice.
Verified, yeah.
And it's Neo. And he's like, well, when you put it that way. And he's dying laughing. And so we couldn't pin back then, but like it was like, oh, bro, like, I'm
screenshot it. Yeah, of course.
And then coincidentally, I'm not kidding, 2 days later, I'm in LAX about to go on the road. He's on the same flight as me.
What?
So I see him, we're waiting to be called up. And I was like, I know celebrities don't like being bothered, you know, but I'm like, I walk up to him, I'm like, hey man, just want to let you know I'm a fan of your work and I really appreciate you having a good time with me poking fun of you. He's like, oh, that was you? He was like, bro, that was hilarious. Like, Bob. So we talked about that for a second. He took a picture. He was super cool about it. He was like, man, that shit was funny. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. And 99% of the time, when the artist gets a hold of it, they're like, yeah, this is great. We knew the song was, you know, messed up.
Yeah.
One rapper got mad at me. He left, I mean, all caps, paragraph. You, yeah, like so mad. And I was just like, bro, I'm a fan of yours. Like, relax.
What was the rapper?
E40.
E40? Ooh.
He got so mad. And he was so, and I was like, bro, I'm a
You're like,
fan.
I'm from the Bay.
I am a fan
I'm like,
of yours,
bro.
bro. Like,
yeah.
But I didn't know that he would get mad like that. I never think about, first of all, when you're making these, you don't even think they're going to see them.
Of course
you're
not.
Like,
of course not.
now I'm very cognizant because it's happened so many times. Now I'm like, okay, there's a chance they're going to see it because
Yeah.
people either tag them, especially if it's an artist, Neil excluded and some others. When the artist isn't popping now, they're actually appreciative that you brought their
Yeah.
music back up.
Dude, it helps with their sales and stuff and people checking out.
Right.
It helps with their money, you know?
So like all these 90s groups and stuff that I make fun of that aren't popping anymore, they share it on their pages, their fan pages.
Wow.
They'll comment in the they'll comment on people's stuff. Like,
That's dope.
This
They're
is
replying and
and they're
everything.
clear up. Like I did one on Silk, and I was like, what did he say here? And on the internet, it had all these theories about what he said, and like and no one knew. He commented, and he was like, actually, I was just scatting. I said nothing. And I was just having fun, and I was like, "We got the answers, people!" And like, they're all involved. And he like shared it, and he like
That's
they'll follow
dope.
you and stuff. It's like, oh, the internet just connects everything.
Yeah.
Like it just connects everything and everybody, and you can clear up a lot of stuff, like all these mysteries that are in these songs, and they'll comment like, "Well, actually." And when I wrote this song, this is what I was. It was like, oh, all right, cool. We got the answers, guys.
Well, that's what's so crazy about like the Fleetwood Mac, like the viral video with Dogface.
I didn't see that.
Who the skateboarding with the cranberry juice.
Yeah.
So he made them chart again and go #1 because that was so shared. So they were appreciative to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that helped their money. So it's like that's what's so crazy about like different internet trends and stuff
And
like that.
it's a mutual like.
It's a beneficial.
benefit.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like,
it's nothing is like parasiting. It's like, hey, we're kind of symbiotic. We're kind of helping each other right here.
so like, you know, like Kev on stage recently made fun of Cisco on his videos, and Cisco commented on it. He was like, this is great. He shared it on his page.
Yeah.
And so like I think they be like you said, you're helping all these TikTok trends. They just help these songs.
They're glad to be relevant again.
chart again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just, so they're like, cool. I don't care if you're making fun of me. First of
Yeah.
all, it's true. It's funny. Like Neil knew that line was out of control. He knew that.
Come on,
And
get a
that's-
hold of yourself, Neil. What are you doing?
So they're like, yeah, no, well, this is cool. This is fine. Not saying he needs any help like at all as
Right.
far as relevancy. He's freaking everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I honestly enjoy it. So
Oh, that comes through. When like the shows that you have that you're producing and that you're a part of, you can tell that you're having fun doing it.
oh yeah, it's so much
And
fun.
for me, that makes all the like when people come see my stand-up show live, the sets can, you know, who knows, like the factors of what will happen that night, whether it's like a good set or a great
Right.
set. I'm always gonna have fun though, and hope that translates to the audience.
How was it? I wanted to ask you too. How was it shooting a special during
So
that with like family and friends and stuff too?
So I had shot that in December, right before COVID started. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, shooting a special with family in the audience.
Yeah. How was that? And then like, how was it right before? Because I know people are texting like, how do I get it? You know, because for
It's
some
so
people,
stressful.
when people, for some strange reason, when people know you, they automatically become helpless.
It's
Like,
the weirdest thing.
I don't know
They
why.
forget what Google is. Like simple like directions. It's just like there's like, please tell me everything.
And then when we call them out on it, because I'll make a video, I'll call them out. I'm like, we do our part. We make these flyers or we make a video and we tell you everything. Does when you go see Bruno Mars, does he call you personally? and tell you how to buy the tickets? And no, he does not. You figure it out.
VIP list over
Yeah,
there.
right.
That is what you. No, I'm busy. I'm singing right now.
You figure it out. So why, when it comes to us,
I thought you said you'd take a grenade for me. You can't even put my name on the list, Bruno.
I don't understand it. I'm like, when it comes out, you become a child. You just become completely. So I tried to purchase a ticket and it said sold out. Well, then it means it's sold out.
Right.
That's, the link. Now what, you figure this out in every other aspect of your life.
Yeah.
And when it comes to us, they just get helpless. Or the announcement, I'm here. Great. Get in your seat.
Yeah. We'll talk after the show. We'll talk after the show.
You telling me you're here. I don't care. Like,
You take the stage and you're like, now I can go on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like we
Thank you
just
for being here.
arrived. Great.
Yeah.
I assumed you bought your tickets. Like,
Yeah, I for sure didn't know that they were going to seat my family stage left and stage right. It was crazy. It was crazy. They're here. They're on each side, peripherals. But you know what? It made the special unique. It made it like a themed.
Now
thing.
you did that all yourself?
Yeah, me and my buddy Gage T Arena. He actually helps. He edits and produces this podcast with me.
Oh, okay, dope.
I took him. He featured for me back in Kansas City, and then he ran cameras and audio and everything while I was on stage. And
Nice.
yeah, and we cut it together.
And then put it out, everything yourself and all that?
Yeah, we linked up with Comedy Dynamics,
Okay.
and they that's who helped me get it like to Amazon Prime and stuff like that. Is they pitched it around, and then Prime picked it up after. There was like a window there. They were like, we'll see how it does on rentals, and then we'll see if we pick it up to switch it over for free on Prime. And me as a comedian, like I couldn't have cared less about like how it did like for the rentals, even though like that's what they're like, you'll make more money off of rentals. I'm like, I just want people to see this thing.
Right.
So there was enough rentals luckily, and they're like, all right, we're going to switch over to free on Prime. I was like, that's what I wanted all along. I just want people to be able to click on it and not have to like, are you sure? Like, no, just.
Right. Yeah. Because for us, it's like, money that's going to come and all that. But as of now, it's like I say this all the time. The only difference between us and, the people the famous people, y'all just don't know us. The levels of funny is like.
One of my favorite Steve Harvey quotes is, and it's an exaggeration, but it's just to show you. He goes, I started off with the same jokes being paid $5.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah.
And then he's like, and then a few years later, it was $100. And then at the end of the quote, that's what gets ridiculous. It's like, he's like, then it was $10 million. I was like, all right, your jokes are $10 million. Like, where are you performing? But it's just like, the act didn't change.
No.
It's just like, you just have to keep
Just people have
clawing
to
your way
find
at
you.
it. Yeah.
That's the only, it's so funny. Even when it comes to social media, people be like, I just found your page. Where have you been? I've been here.
I've been here.
You just didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't get offended when people are like,
no, not at all.
like, I'm sorry, I just found out who you were.
Yeah, I didn't know who you were before.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't care. You know who I am now. That's great.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get everybody to know
Tell a friend, please.
who I am. Or like, people think it's an insult when like, let's say they have been down with you for a minute. And like, I've had people, they've been coming to shows of mine for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll come to the, latest one. Be like, man, you get better every time. No offense. I'm like, that's
the point.
What I'm supposed to do. If I was still the same comic I was at year 3, I would be trash.
Yeah.
Like I'm supposed to. It's supposed to get easier. It's supposed to get better. It's supposed to get fluent. No offense, man, but you were always funny. But now,
that's what I get that from family, like who have come to shows over the years. They're like, you're so much better than you were a couple of years ago. No offense. I was like, no, I should be. I'm working hard to get better at this. I'm putting in the effort.
Right. And you're not saying that I sucked then. And even if you were, let's say you were.
Yeah.
Let's say you're like, you were horrible then, but now you're great. Great.
Like, okay, great. I'm great now.
Great. Like, I don't.
We're here.
And they always do that.
Trying to dance around. Yeah.
No, it's fine. Like, I'm supposed to be getting better. I'm supposed to be. When you discover people, that's. You didn't know who I was. Great. It's not like you saw me and was like, and then came back. People apologize for that too, by the way.
For writing you off and then coming back. Hey, man, I made a mistake. I'm real sorry about you. You know what? You annoyed me I've gotten this over the years. Like, you were really annoying to me at first.
I've gotten that.
And now I think I like you. And I'm like, you think? And like, this is a very soft, like, compliment.
I had one of my YouTube threads. They had a full conversation about me that, like, I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
Just going in, I used to hate him. And he was so on this and that, blah, blah. But he, like, grows on you. And they're like, yeah, girl, he does. He's like, all right. And
he's like a fungus, girl.
And they're just going and they're going. And, like, but at the end, and everybody was like, but now we love him. Which I was like, that's fine. Because I get, with some of the stuff I say, I get how it's off-putting.
Yeah.
I get how, if, let's say you got a small snippet without the full context or whatever, you'd be like, who the hell is this guy thinking? Or he's a jerk for saying that. Or that was mean. Or I understand. So long as you come around, great. I don't mind, but I've definitely gotten that. Or like, you know, when they see people, a group of people, whether it's like, you know, like all deaf or whatever, they pick their favorites or whatever, and they'll kind of sleep on you, if you will. So I've had people be like, I've been listening to you and Tony's podcast for, you know, I don't know how long, and I just now followed you. I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's fine.
Hey, you're here now. That's all good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, you're at a show. Thanks for telling me that.
Yeah.
Thank you for getting to take. I'm just
I'm
appreciative.
thankful for all of it.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter to me. And I think they think that we're bigger than we are.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, everything is like, I'm not trying to offend you. I was like, I'm
like,
thankful.
I've had a few hits to the ego over the year. I think I can handle this. We're good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. But I'm definitely enjoying the whole journey.
It's awesome, man.
It's so dope. Like,
it's great.
What we do, I tell people all the time, like, when it comes to making it.
Well, that's the thing, dude.
We've made it.
Think about us open micing literally over 10 years ago. Right. And then think of you like having a special out. I got a special out now. Like, just tell those comics from all those years ago, like, hey, we got stuff out. Like, we go on the road. You're going to have a family. What?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's all these things, like, that's amazing.
You already made, like people always, they think you made it, and they think, you know, Kevin Hart, Seinfeld, and blah, blah. Well, they're.
That's like the top of the mountain.
But if you want to talk about, did you make it? Am I living a dream right now? Am I living yes.
Yeah.
I've already made it. My kid thinks I'm freaking awesome. You know, like, I'm financially supporting my family.
Yeah.
I do this for a living. I've already made it. I'm having fun for a living.
What
Then
we
there's
love.
just levels of it. Now, will I be more famous and make more? Yes. But right now, I've already accomplished my dream. And then there's just levels to it after that. And I think when we start off, a lot of comics are always just looking, you know, here, and they're just like, I'm still bumming it. It's like, no, you're not. Are you touring regularly? Are you
right? Are you getting dates
fine,
and stuff?
bro.
Are you doing this and that?
And they just keep, because they keep watching their peers.
If you only keep track of your progress based on your peers, you'll never be happy.
No,
you'll never be happy.
Because there's always gonna be somebody above you.
Yeah.
And there's always gonna be ones that hit harder and different and have more followers and more money. And you just gotta, where'd you start and where are you at now? Can you see the progress? Can you see the journey? Well, then you're
good.
winning, man. You're fine. Be happy.
I want to close out with this segment. It's called Sax Talk. Oh, Sax Talk.
So I'm in college, and it's spring break. And me and four of my teammates decide to take a little trip up to Canada. And we get to Canada, and we're only 18, 19 years old, but drinking is legal there. We can do everything legal there, so we go out to a club. We hit this club, and we're the only guys dancing in the entire club. Now, we don't care because we're drunk and we're having a great time and doing what we do. You know? Young lady walks up to me and she says, "Excuse me, I like the way you dance." I said, "All right." She said, "You want to go over here and talk?" I said, "Absolutely." So we sit down, we're having drinks, and we're having a little conversation. Middle of the conversation, she stops me. She goes, I'm not trying to be rude, but I just want to take you home and fuck your brains out. I said, let's go. Now, mind you, we're in a different country. So I tell my boys who we're all together with, I said, hey man, I have a ride home. They said, hey man, we all came together. We leave together. We're in a different place. We can't get lost. This is before cell phones were popular like that. You can't leave, man. I said, I'm going home with her. They see her and go, we'll see you tomorrow, bro. So we have calling cards. She's like, I'll call you when I get home. I'll call your hotel room. My boy had the car. And she calls me like 3 a.m. I was like, she's like, come through. So I hit my boy whose car we took up there. I said, hey, I need the keys to the car. He's like, they over there. He didn't even wake up. He just went like this. And I said, all right, grab the keys. I'm walking out the door. My other friend wakes up. He goes, hey, that girl call you? I said, yeah. She got a friend? I was like, nah. He goes, shit. He goes back to sleep. I get to the girl's house. This girl's gorgeous. I get to her house. She's in lingerie. And we get started. Kissing. Touching. Now, mind you, this is single days. I'm in a different country. I'm like, I got to be responsible. I put on the condom. We get to going. I'm not going to lie. It lasted for about 3 minutes. I told her, I was like, I don't know what happened. I apologize. I thought it was going to last forever. I got a condom on and I'm drunk. This was supposed to be a good hour. I said, I think what happened was you were so pretty, I got excited. I was like, and your butt's really big. But mind you, I'm young and spry. I said, let's go round 2. She was like, this is what I called you over here for. Let's get it. So now I'm thinking, okay, I already got one off. I'm drunk and condom. This is at least going to go a strong hour and a half. We get started again. 5 minutes. And at that point, I had to realize I wasn't prepared for this kind of vagina. I was like, you win. Fatality. I had nothing. But she was so sweet and so nice. She didn't even care. And we actually hung out the next day. Normally a girl after that will never want to see you again ever in life. She was like, it's fine. It's okay. I almost felt like she knew what she looked like and what her body looked like and what this magical thing that she had. And she knew. I was set up. So the next day we hung out and it was cool. And then I went back to America. Yep. Twice. Total time 8 minutes. Had nothing for that girl.
I mean, I'm guessing that's happened to her a couple times.
It had to. She was way too calm about it.
What country were you in?
I was in Canada.
You were in Canada.
But she was from like Egypt or something like that. Like she was like my color. But she was just,
just ridiculous.
Like in Canada, we found out, because we used to go up there all the time because I went to college in Montana. So we used to go to Canada. We found out that a lot of people from other countries go to Canada because it's easier to get into Canada than into the States. So we were meeting women from like Africa and Jamaica and, you know, I mean, all over the place.
When I've been to Montreal multiple times, you see very diverse people there.
Man.
Like it's like, Canada? Really? Like it's
And
like
these-
from every country.
Right. I remember at the time, Borat had just came out and we met a girl from Kazakhstan.
You're like come on.
And she worked at the front desk of the hotel we were staying. We were like, where are you from? She was like, have you seen Borat? We was like, yeah. She was like, and she was gorgeous. And we were like, what the hell? And we're just meeting all these girls.
You're from the same place as Borat.
And yeah, so that girl, I think she knew because I was like, and all y'all look like that over there? This is how ignorant I was. I was like, everybody over there? She was like, oh yeah, this is my whole, where I'm from. Like, this is normal. And I was just like, I think she knew that.
She knew.
She set me up because I was just like this, drunk with a condom on. Yeah, this is not supposed to go this quickly. And I think part of it was me coming from Montana, and then I didn't have a segue.
Well, what kind of girls were in Montana?
Regular white girls.
Yeah.
You know. Well, actually, Malmstrom Air Force Base is up there. That's the third largest base in the U.S.
Okay.
So on the base, that's where all the black girls were, the Mexican and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
'cause they're from
we
all
did.
over,
Yeah.
since they're the base,
So
yeah.
we did do that, but at our college, it was
Yeah.
mostly just the average looking. You know, so I go from the base and the college.
Let me suck your dick.
Yeah, you know, to this, and I was just like, this. I didn't have a transition. There was no. I should have had a filler, you know what I mean, before her to break me in.
Yeah,
I
you
couldn't-
needed like something like
I
a
needed
step in between.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just went from that to, and I was so excited just seeing somebody look like that. If I would have came from LA or the Bay to that, I would have been fine. Because
Right.
I'd have been used to it.
Yeah.
But I hadn't seen nothing like that in so long. And I was just like, like that was it. I had nothing. I want a rematch. Like, I'm still upset about it.
Victoria's Secret was you came very quickly.
Oh my goodness. But she was so sweet. She was so nice.
It's okay. Don't worry.
I mean,
You're like-
patting my back like I was a
I'll give you a back rub.
it's, you know, it's fine.
Do you hurry up for round two?
Right.
You
And
up
'cause
for
I was
that?
mad. I was so mad. You know, I'm 20. I think I was 20.
Yeah.
So I'm young.
You're ready
I'm
to show
like,
out.
I let it, you know, so I was just mad. I got
Yep.
this ego and I was just pissed. She's like, man, it's fine.
So my question is, what did you tell your friends back at the hotel?
Oh,
how
I
it
told
went?
them what happened and they were dying.
Oh.
But here's what's crazy. This how fine she was. They was like, I get it. Like, they didn't even like.
They didn't even like. They saw it and they're like, "Well, we
they
can't
were
really
like,
blame you. Dude. We
it
can't really
is what
blame
it
you for that."
is. Like, the way they sent me, I'm telling you,
They're like, it kind of happens.
the way they sent me off when I said I had to ride home, they was like, there? They was like, we'll
Hey
figure it
man,
out.
if you get decapitated or whatever, it's all good, bro. Like
We'll
you went
figure
out, you went out trying.
Right. That's the difference between guys and girls too. Women would never do. They would never
No.
be like, yeah, go with
Oh,
that
he's
random.
a very attractive guy. Sure, yeah.
Go with that random stranger. My boys were like,
the guys
yeah.
are like throwing the car keys.
They
at
were
you.
like, see you later.
They have a valet jacket on and they're ushering you to your car.
They would have been mad if I didn't do it.
Of course, of
They would have been
course.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, but it was just too much at the time. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready.
I wasn't ready.
Keon, bro, thank you so much for
Thanks for having
coming on the
me,
show,
man.
man. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so
And
much.
where can people find you on social media? You're very active. I implore you guys to follow him on Instagram and YouTube. He's got a lot of great content out there.
Thank you so much, man. It's at Keon Polee, KeonPolee on Instagram and Twitter, whatever. And then I just got on TikTok, same thing, Keon Polee, and my YouTube page is Keon Polee. Like, I'm the only Keon Polee on earth, so it's just real easy to use my name.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
where does the name come from?
My last name is French, like it's actually Polee, but we recently did a family history thing, and like basically Polees have so many boys that there's so many of us now. But I'm the only Keon Polee. So
Yeah.
I'm literally, this is a unique last name.
Sure.
And then, but I'm the only one. So it's really easy to find me.
It's easy to find him, guys. Check it out.
Yeah, really easy.
Thanks for being here, bro.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.